Scott, we're trying to survive the aftermath. Scott, you and I jumped into surviving the aftermath over on the game preview pass for Xbox. I had a good time with this city builder experience.
Yeah, now this is worth noting that this is the third update. This is the Expeditions update, and they're still adding a lot to this game. Being that it's a work in progress, they give you that warning screen right at the start. They let you know that you might see some kind of weird things with this game.
That's good because I froze right at the start of the game, so that was kind of disappointing. I was looking forward to getting into this. I'm a big city builder fan.
Yes.
Just that genre as a whole, I love that genre. I grew up on SimCity. So to come into this side of things and have a different experience, a different take on it, because basically what happened is there's been an apocalypse, kind of cleared everything, and there's a limited number of survivors left, and that's how you start your community. And then you start rebuilding your community, and the tasks you're faced with can sometimes, the way it started for me, actually had a difficult time getting started.
Yeah, it's hard to learn kind of the ins and the outs about this game. Now, I kind of have an idea of that that makes it a little easier. It's kind of a top-down Fallout shelter, dare I say.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of similarities to it. You get above
Absolutely.
ground, but you kind of start off with a limited group of people. You
Yep.
get the ability to take on more people as time progresses, and that really gives you more, it affords you more ability to build outside of what you're used to. So
Yeah.
you have a guy who's scrapping metal, you have a guy who's scrapping plastic,
Yep.
and then you have maybe a tool maker or a clothing maker that takes both those
I have a lot of
items,
stuff right now.
and then they turn that into a more useful item, and the game kind of progresses this way. So it's all about learning what chains into which.
Yeah, absolutely. But the more survivors you have on board, the more you need to kind of keep them busy to help you progress and grow even more. Because the minute you have more people, that means now you need more food, you need more wood, you need more this, that, and the other.
More water and...
Absolutely. So then you put down another well, but then you cut down like a water tank so you can store well, because disasters will come barreling through.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you get hit with a heat wave or a radiation storm will come radiating through the place.
And they all look really good. I have to mention that
The
each
radiation
of these,
thing?
Yeah, the radiation or the lightning storms were really spectacular and just coming down. And this game looks pretty good zoomed out, I have to say. Now, zoomed in, the details are kind of missing, but...
That's the problem, right? I would have loved to have seen them being able to come right down on ground level, but they keep you up a little bit because the detail when you go in just isn't
just
quite
not
there
really
yet.
there,
So
yeah.
hopefully we'll get that graphical patch, and maybe another zoom-in camera angle would be perfect, because you can take photo shots. So you can go in and do your screenshots and stuff, and then get even lower in with a screenshot than you can with the actual game camera,
Okay,
which I
so
thought that was kind of weird.
So it seems like they're planning maybe some more
There's-
HD updates.
There are, yeah. So there are certain things coming. So you need to obviously manage your resources, but then you're presented with options too, which is cool. So someone will present you with, hey, I'm not very good at doing this, but I might be able to, with a couple of your resources, make some more clothing. And then you go, yes, no, or just forget it. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. I went, yes, and then the girl goes, I tried, but I just screwed up and we lost all this material. And I was like, no!
Yeah. Or you outfit
no.
you outfit a group to go exploring or hunting or something, and they come back and one of them's sick, and they have an irradiation poisoning or something like that. You
And then
have
they're
to deal with.
glowing, right? They're all this green glow.
I like the way they show it. Yeah.
It was pretty cool. But then you need your medical tents and everything else. And then, so you get this warning of you're going to have some kind of storm come through or this heat wave. So you're at least notified that when this disaster is coming, you have time to prepare. So if you're going to
Get all of your crops up.
Exactly.
Put down water if you need it. Get some towers going. It gives you a
Yeah.
little bit of warning to get that going. Now, I really like the difficulty slider in this game. When you
That was
start this
cool.
game, there's
Very cool.
a ton of options to completely customize kind of what happens in which frequency.
Yeah.
So you can go all the way from basically the world is green already,
Yeah.
and people are starting to live outside of these Fallout shelter kind of things.
Yeah.
Or you can go, the world is still barren. It's like the apocalypse never ended.
Did you try that?
Yes, I went full difficulty,
And?
and I have to say, it didn't get too much difficult.
Really?
So like things were more aggressive for sure, and I had a smaller pool of survivors. That's another option.
Yep.
So there's many different options you go to tailor exactly how difficult, but I went full difficult. And I found that once I learned how to build kind of the chains of things, this item goes to this guy, to this guy, to this guy.
Right, yeah.
There wasn't much more difficulty beyond that. I was kind of just stuck at a wall of how fast can I spread out, and that was really the only factor, but nothing was going to eliminate me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So in that sense, it kind of stalled out for me.
Yeah.
But I do know there's more content coming to this game,
Yeah.
and there's an overworld to mess with, as well as your city builder. So this overworld that's where it gets really detailed. This game can go quite long.
And you need to get out of your little camp and go outside. So you build this
Yeah.
gate at the front of your your little community. Then the minute you branch out of that, you get specialists. And these specialists allow them to go outside of the camp into the broader world and then venture off and look for other items and scraps and
Bandits
tech.
and tech.
Which is the biggest thing, because you need to find these little beacons that allow you then to get your skill tree to upgrade. And that skill tree is really, really detailed, but I found myself kind of, the minute I found a couple of those skill techs, I was able to just, boom, upgrade this, upgrade that,
Yep.
upgrade this, which then introduced other buildings and a different
Now you
medical
can
building.
make power, and now you can
Exactly.
make more refined things.
It's so cool, though.
There's a good tree that they've set up here, and I just want to see the difficulty kind of keep you to that tree maybe a little closer. Because
Yeah.
I felt like I could be kind of frivolous with my resources. At a certain point, it didn't seem to matter too much.
No, I was just buying in bits of pieces of everything and just slowly progressing and making everything all in this one little encampment, and I had no problems. And then I go out and I venture into these bandits, and I'd be at a lower level, because the bandits will have a level, and then your character, your survival specialist, will have a level as well.
Yeah, and their own stats kind of tweak
Exactly.
it.
So, but my stats were lower, and I still beat the crap out of this guy, and then took his stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, but I was able to, because I started off easy and progressed. I kind of had a hard time when they started the tutorial, and I found myself losing. But the minute it kind of clicked,
Yeah.
I just steamrolled over everything.
Yeah, once you learn kind of what it is to this game, the difficulty doesn't really last. That's the downfall.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool opportunities for this game in the overworld. All this different character interaction leads for some good storytelling possibilities.
Yeah.
And you find vehicles and stuff that kind of get you around the map really quick. So there's a lot of possibilities. And trading is an interesting idea.
It is.
And other factions could be into it. So there's a lot of things that are about to be added to this game that I really would like to follow up on and see how that really works out.
Yeah.
But it's all more related to storytelling for me. I want to get into the story of this game, and I feel like there was a little bit of storytelling at the beginning when survivors are coming up to your gate, and
Sure.
it kind of tells you through that. But after that, it's just up to whatever you decide to do.
Yeah, it's
And
almost like you then, from there, you take it and make your own story.
yeah, I
right?
feel like that's kind of what they're going for. But
Yeah.
I would like to see a little bit more. Why did the fallout happen? Why is
A little bit more backstory and explanation of what's going on within the world, and why is
Yeah.
there radiation pools like all over my map kind of thing. So yeah, a bit of a backstory later on would be nice. As we said, this is in Xbox Game Preview Pass, so it is in the preview program, which is a little earlier. So it's something for us to experiment with, test, try, and hopefully the developers then will hear our feedback and listen and see about adding a couple things here or there.
we can't exactly put a full number on this.
Nope.
But myself personally, I have to recommend this game. It was really cool in a lot of the things that it's trying to do, and I want to see it expand on that and get better and better. And I really think they have something here.
I do too. I agree with you. I think this is a great, solid start to the game. There are a couple technical issues. I was in the world map. My characters are like falling halfway through the world. A couple
Some
other little
text
things.
gets a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, the graphical issues could be a little more refined. That would be nice, especially when we get into that photo mode of things, because I would like to get some actual photos and lower my camera down, get some nicer angles, that sort of thing. The dialogue was pretty good. The options, I love the story options that come up within the game, but
Just
a little
wanna
bit
see
more.
more.
A
Just
little
wanna
bit
see
of it.
more.
But if you're a fan of the city building apocalypse genre at all, I definitely recommend this one for you to pick up as well. Any fan of the city building genre should look at this title. Surviving the Aftermath may be in early development, but it's off to a great start. Rebuilding your community with difficult choices can lead you to surviving the next disaster. Scot and Drew would just like a bit more story in the future.
If you like this video and you want to see more like it, check out the channel and give us a subscribe.